Hi, I'm Sarah Téibo. Welcome to Restored the album, behind the song, behind the scenes, behind the story. And today I'm joined by my friend and brother, Tom Endersby. What most of you don't know about Tom, hi Tom, is that myself and Tom go to the same church. We tend to be rotated to lead worship together most times. I don't know whose idea that is, but most times when I'm on the rota, Tom's on the rota too, and we tend to really have a good tag team leading worship. Tom, on social media, you are called Joyful Noise. By the way, guys, Tom is also a recording artist as much as he's a worship leader in church, but he has this name, right? He has a stage name called Joyful Noise. So maybe you want to
Joyful sounds with
Joyful
me.
Sounds.
Joyful
oh my
sounds
goodness.
with me, Sarah. Come on now.
I love making a joyful noise. Don't blame me.
I know.
Joyful Noise, yes. Tell us, Tom, aka Joyful Noise, what's the story behind the name? And maybe just introduce yourself a bit more to people watching as well.
Yeah, so my actual name's Tom Endersby, and I suppose the Joyful Sounds name came from when I was first starting to think about I wanted to release music, because I've been writing songs for like a few years. I mean, I've actually been writing songs for years and years and years. I was in like, a punk band at school and stuff like that, but I was really and I suppose I've written Christian songs on and off for like years and years and years, but it really was only in the last sort of 2-3 years where I'm like, I really want to invest in this. I want to really invest in this gift and give it to God and see where it goes. And then last year, I just felt that like this is the time where I just want to start kind of putting stuff out there. And I chose Joyful Sounds because I think initially I wanted it to be more of a collective. I wanted it to be a collaborative thing and actually involve lots of people, but unfortunately it coincided with COVID, and that just wasn't conducive to meeting with people. So I was running with this name for a collective with just me, and I've just sort of stuck with it because it was the easiest thing really. So I might change it because I'm not sure it's the easiest thing for people to connect with, but that might make a little sense, now why I've
gone for now it figures, because when I first saw it, I'm thinking, first and foremost, I thought, okay.
Right, yeah.
I'm like, why don't you just use your name? But I'm sure I gave you some feedback, like, just use your name, But now that I've got the full backstory, it kind of makes sense. Do you reckon you would still go on and do create the collective that you initially planned to do?
I do want to do a collective again. I wouldn't brand it Joyful Sounds. I'd come up with a cooler name. I would like. I think at some point I would like rebrand my stuff. But you know what it's like with Spotify admin. Once you're there, and But we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, definitely. So guys, Tom features on the song Victory. He, along with Lou Fellingham and Zahyón, actually joined me on the song. And back in May, Victory was actually #1 on the Step Forward UK Christian charts, electronic and dance genre. I nearly fell out of my chair when I was told it was #1 in that genre, because it's like, that is not my typical genre. But also, Tom, we co-wrote the song, myself, you, and Luke Catley from King's Church, and it was a very interesting one because we started working on the song. I wouldn't say started co-writing, because we initially were going to do it face to face or in church or whatever, because we started working on it before COVID. And I think the original idea I had, I actually sent it to you guys on WhatsApp anyway, and then the first session I went to Luke's house. We tried something on guitar. Not sure we really made much progress on that, and then a few days after, lockdown, and then we had to finish the song on WhatsApp.
yeah
That was an experience, honestly. So how did you feel about being involved in the writing and in the recording of, and also when I told you that I wanted you to join me on the song on the album?
Yeah, that was like, so writing was quite a surreal process. I mean, because obviously lockdown happened and you're doing things on WhatsApp, and ideally, obviously, you want to be in the room. And I think I suppose as songwriters, and creatives, you kind of feel like to be in the moment, and have a creative process, you need to be together, and there needs to be this sort of like magic moment when you're in the room and stuff like that. And I do think that can happen and that can help, but I think what we did on WhatsApp probably showed that you don't need that to make a good song. So And actually, I quite liked the process because it was quite nice to listen to the song on the voice note on WhatsApp and then just have some time to think about it and process it and just sort of think, oh, what do I think about that and what does land? And do you know what I mean? And actually, it's quite nice. It's nice to do something a bit different and to sort of think things through. So I think, yeah, sometimes trying different things is cool. And then when you asked me to join you on the track, I was like so stoked. And I was like, and also a little bit scared because, like, you know, going into studio with you guys and your band is like insane. You know, it's like whoa, man, this is the big leagues here. So yeah. That was an amazing experience, and you and your team are just like amazing, and it's a massive learning experience as well, because you know yourself and the band have just so much experience, and Gaz and the, you know, the producers and the, you know, there's so much experience, and they're like, wow, I just want to soak all this up, you know. And then similar for the recording, again, just such a bunch of like crazy talented but also lovely, like super duper lovely brothers and sisters, like the nicest people you could meet. It's such a blessing, you know. And that's when I met Zahyón for the first time, and like what an absolute like dude as well, and everyone else. And it was Lou unfortunately wasn't there, but yeah, it was like, I mean, what a flipping blessing. It was amazing. It was lovely. Just, you know, you feel the love of, sorry, I'm going on a bit, you really feel the love of yeah, I really felt like in those moments you're like, wow, it's like we're family, you know, and people coming from all over, and you have that instant connection. It's one of the most amazing things about being in the family of Jesus, isn't it? Is you come together in an environment like that, and it's like, hey, I've never met you before, but this feels kind of like family. So
pretty much, and this is it. We're all joint heirs of the kingdom, which means we're literally brothers and sisters. And the idea that I had for Victory initially, obviously, because we were writing it, and it was like, yeah, let's make it upbeat, let's make it, you know, I think I called it pop. I wasn't even sure what genre it was going to be, but I knew it was going to be like an upbeat, celebratory kind of song, you know, people can vibe to, and kids and teenagers and youth particularly can jump up and down to. But I also kind of pictured it being a song that brought people together, which is why I was quite deliberate about who I featured on the song as well, because I wanted it to be a pulling together kind of song. And thankfully that really has come across, you know, with the track being the #1 song. I can't even harp on about that enough, because I have never had a #1 song. It was my first #1 in May, and I'm hoping that with the album out now, with Restored out and more songs on the project, get some more traction and make, you know, some more headlines on the charts. But no, it's not just about that, it's about the message in the songs. And obviously the album itself being titled Restored, it's a word that came to me in 2019. Is it 2019 now? Yep. 2019, because I was planning to put the album out in 2020, but then the unmentionable happened. But when I got the word restored, I wasn't quite sure what it was about. I just knew that the album was to be called Restored. And now that we're in 2021 and things are starting to fall in place, it's starting to make sense as to what restored means. Like it's the season where God is, you know, restoring the years that we've sown in tears, bringing back hope, bringing back joy, you know, bringing families together. But I wanted to find out from you as well what the word restored or restoration means to you.
Yeah, I remember you telling that story at the recording, actually, the album recording, and just being like, wow, that's amazing, because restored is like literally the most appropriate word for what we need like right now. Because, you know, when you think about the word restored, you're thinking about broken things that are being repaired, you know, tired, moth-eaten, you know, fabric which gets like renewed, and things which are just not in a good place being brought back to sort of like newness and goodness. And it's like, I think that's what, as you know, from COVID, that's what everyone was feeling. I think people probably still are coming back from that, and it's that restoration which needs to happen in our souls and in our society and in our culture. And I just think it's, you know, it's so powerful, because I think it would have been a powerful word if you just come up with it during the pandemic. But the fact that God told you it, you know, 2 years in advance, almost, it's powerful. Do you know what I mean? It has that anointing. It shows that actually there is like an anointing and a purpose on the project. And yeah, I can't wait to see the sort of the fruit of that.
Yeah, I mean, I remember wondering what God was telling me with the word restored. I'm thinking, is it me? Am I being restored? I
Yeah.
couldn't figure out. I'm like, anyway, I know it's restored, but I just don't know what it's about, because I wasn't quite sure what to write to as well for that particular single for the project. But when things came to a head, I'm like, now I know what to write to. Now I know what people are feeling, all the losses of lives and livelihoods and everything in between. It's like like everyone everywhere has lost something, in 2020, and even in the start of 2021. So there's, that relevance, if you like, of the word restored to many people globally. And I'm praying that people who listen to the project, listen to all the songs on the album, and listen to the song Restored as well, will be able to hone into the message of hope and restoration and just life and peace that we find in God, knowing that, in this life we will have many troubles, but God is with us through all of them, and he's restoring everything that we've lost in multiple folds, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Yeah.
So one question I've asked everyone who's joined me on the on the live chat is, obviously I don't know so much about you. I just know this much about Tom. And I guess those who are watching probably don't know much about Tom / Joyful Sounds. But if there was a fun fact about you that would make people's jaws drop, what would that be?
I don't.
There has to be something.
Like what? Like something which is like something which is like astonishing. I don't think there's anything that would make people's jaws drop. I take on way too many hobbies, man. So that's probably my thing. I'm like a big I just take on hobbies. So like literally a couple of weeks ago, I took up fishing for the first time. I just went out and I did fishing, and I've been absolutely wanting to go back. I caught this big seaweed, and that's all I caught. just this big. But no, and like, I've taken up surfing, I've taken up football, basketball, like so many things. So I'm terrible. I'm just terrible. You name a hobby, rock climbing, like I just take it up. I'm terrible.
You take it up, but you don't really perfect the skill, right? Clearly.
Exactly. Yeah,
Clearly.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I'm an absolute terror for that. So
yeah, where did you fish? Did you fish in the Thames or where?
My wife's from Cornwall, which if people who are watching this haven't been, it's amazing. Like it's beautiful in the southwest, and I thoroughly recommend it. But it's like it's surrounded by sea. So yeah, I've taken up surfing since going there regularly, and now fishing. So yeah, no, I need to cut back. It's pretty terrible actually, but yeah.
No, that's definitely interesting. I'm gonna try fishing sometime. I don't think I am ready yet mentally. Okay, I genuinely don't think I'm ready for fishing, but yeah, because it's like you're standing there waiting for an eternity to catch something, and I just don't know that I am. Although people say it's very therapeutic, it's relaxing. I don't know if you found that relaxing when you did your fishing.
I was terrible, so I don't think I'm going to find it relaxing. It might be, it might be a good songwriting, thing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You're fishing for ideas while also just fishing. I don't know.
Oh my goodness. All right, so we're going to wrap it up very, very quickly now, but one last question. Should people get the album Restored?
Yes, absolutely.
If they haven't already.
Radio, listen to it, buy a big poster of it. I don't know. You got posters? You probably got merch, haven't you?
Well, now that you say it, I'm probably going to print some posters because I don't have any posters.
I'm signing up. I'll get one myself.
Oh, sweet. I'll do that. But no, thank you so much, guys. If you haven't got Restored the album, please get it on all digital music platforms. Download, stream. You can tell Alexa to play Restored by Sarah Téibo as well. I just found out. You can say Alexa, Sarah Téibo, and it will. And also, if you've got playlists, add it to your playlist, share it with your friends. But do tell me, DM me on what your favorite song is, what song, what message, what lyric resonates with you the most. I'd really love to hear from you. Tom, you can be contacted on Instagram and Facebook where?
Joyful Sounds _worship. I think. Yeah, I'm sure that's right. And Tom Endersby, maybe. I don't know. You search it up, and you'll find it.
And he's got music on Spotify, so guys, go check out his music. I've got a favorite song of his called Hurricanes, which by God's grace I'm hoping I'll record, because I just absolutely love the song. The message in the song is so powerful about God being with us even in the midst of the worst storms. He's our present help in time of need. Check it out. Just check out Tom Endersby, Joyful Sounds, on Spotify as well. Connect with him on Instagram, get the album, and thanks for hanging out with us. I hope you've had fun watching and listening. Until next time, guys, stay blessed, stay safe, and speak soon.
Through all the years and in every season, you are the living truth. No more in fear, walk